Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know what kind of story this is. Maybe it's a Halloween story. Anyways, so, Dr. Rip had one. And you're going to say, well, what is it? Well, it's the clown that no one can see. They said Mandalorian make them. I said, okay. Now, he said he hated it. He said he hated it. But he says he hates a lot of stuff. So, it's not that out of the ordinary. But it's the way he said he hated it. You understand? He tries to run a pretty fair practice. And he, basically makes the cuts where he can. You understand what I'm saying? And that's pretty much been the class of teal for a while. But it's not the way things are designed 100% of the time. That's just kind of it's what you've heard the term what the market will bear, as it were. You can't charge a child for a shot, you understand? You can only charge a rich man for a shot. It's one of them deals you make, with yourself, with your psyche, basically. So, I mean, with that out of the way, you understand what I'm getting at here. This clown, he's, how do I say it? He's a clown. And what he counts is what you take. Now, if you go to a circus and there's popcorn and candy and all that other good stuff, what is it you take? Well, he counts what you take. But he counts how much you pay, too. He's really good at that. You understand? He can put all that stuff out there, but how much did he bring in? You see, it's an articulated masquerade doll, more or less. And it has a little bit of weaponry to it. There's not a whole lot. It's nothing special, but it's very tricky in a peculiar sort of a fashion. It can kind of crawl on the ceiling and get into tight spots. It's a clown. You understand? It's tricky. So, you're going to say, who the fuck would make something like this? Well, the Mandalorian High Council would. And this is to dissuade people from stealing from them. They have a very specific rule about pie, about getting their cut, about paying too much, about overpaying for anything. That's sort of a thing. It's kind of like their thing. You understand what I'm saying? That they make the right cut, get the right cut. Things are cut evenly. We had an even break sort of thing. The whole bigger half of the sandwich sort of a thing. They don't like the bigger half of the sandwich sort of a thing. You understand? Big brother, little brother thing. It's like that. You understand? Now, granted, this is a doctor of some renown who charges quite a bit. You're going to ask, well, how did he get it? Well, they sent it to him because they feel like they overpaid for something. And they said he's going to be with you for a while. Until we have decided that you're running a fair and equitable practice. He said, I can't do anything about this. He said, you can stop seeing Mandalorians forever. He said, okay, I guess this is one of those things I have to do for my craft. And so the clown ran around his workshop for a while. And he was dissuaded from ever doing anything to make it fit in. He said, it will look like it does the entire time. I will not be dissuaded from it. I've heard that other people have tried to dress them up so they sort of fit in some way, but not him. No. he let that thing look like it did. His very low level interest in some things. You understand? This happens to be one of them. Well, eventually, it died. And the reason it dies is because it finds out that it is not right. It's a program. Basically a self-destruct program. And it will die. If it finds out that the reason it was programmed and instructed is not true. That's basically, it becomes false. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, it dies. Well, they say there's, it's magic. Oh, this and that. No, it's not. Not only that, it's annoying. Things it says are kind of annoying. Well, you understand, it's a clown. Right? Oh, it's actually an excellent clown in some way. And they say that no one can see it. Well, they can just pop out of the dark, really. You notice that they keep their helmets on a lot? They look like this or that underneath them. One with a pig nose. One that looks like a deer. One that looks like a monster. Things like that. Maybe you've heard that before. Maybe you've caught one with their proverbial pants down before, as it were. Or isn't. I don't know if that's a limerick or not. It doesn't matter. What it is what it is. It catches you, and it finds you. Now, here's the thing. It has to be assigned to you. That is the part people can't quite relocate. That it takes your case, basically. So, one would assume it came here for some reason. The reason I'm assuming is someone said they only copy us. They only see us. We are the way. They don't invent anything. I invent everything. I'm sure that these words were spoken and they were markedly seen as true. Well, this just simply would not stand with a proper Mandalorian. You could see where Dr. Rip fits into the situation. He was, he got a grave sickness, an incurable sickness. Not shortly after it died, though. So I've seen it. There's pictures. I know what it looks like. Know a little bit about it. It's hard to find information on it. It's one of their things, you understand? But if you search the right junk pile, you can find one. Because somebody has got them before. They are not infallible. But that doesn't mean another one will not come, as far as I know. I don't know if it's self-replicating, or it comes out of a spawning tube, or however they make it. It's their thing. You understand? This is how they keep track of measures. How do you call it? Anyways, the billing agent for your company, more or less. They can't keep track of everything. You understand? Especially when guys are out there in the field doing stuff. They're trying to keep track of all their own stuff. Keeping track of every nickel and dime isn't always possible. That's what he's for. Like that little droid that follows you around in Fallout. Which Fallout game is that? It's in both of the Fallout 3s, right? Anyways, you know Eddie. You know what Eddie looks like. Kind of like Eddie. Anyways. So, there's one here somewhere. Not only that, but it's not in its normal state. Now that might not mean nothing, but it might mean everything. Maybe it has a false positive. Maybe it has a false negative. Maybe it's calculating something we cannot even fathom. Now, you understand. They sent some of these suckers away. Motherfuckers they don't like. Ones that piss them off. Wound up here on the shithole with a can in it. So, you say, well, what the fuck is that? What the fuck are you saying to me? Or did they declare war? Are they at war? No, this is common practice. This is an empire making sure it has fair and equitable treatment of others and itself. Its own books are being protected. Norinco, as it were, is watching you. They have a machine. It's a cake cutting machine, a pie cutting machine. You put it over a cake or a pie and it cuts it evenly. That is what Norinco is. And he watches how the pie changes shape from day to day. He figures out how they got a bigger piece of pie. He figures out how they got a smaller piece of pie. He figures out how many pies you've eaten all by yourself. He figures out how many pies disappear. He figures out how many pies are given away. He figures it all out. This is what his purpose is. Everyone thinks that this is okay. This is a normal business practice. This is actually a really good idea. This is a droid I would buy and use and facilitate the use of. You understand? And once he's decided you've had too much pie, he gets you. But you can only steal a certain type of pie. You see, that's the caveat. You don't know what pie you're stealing. More or less. And you can run on for a long time. But God is going to strike you down. And it makes you wonder, what did he see? Probably nothing. But there was an inmate at Folsom Prison that hated clowns. Sort of like John Gacy, who was a clown. And this guy, he killed 38 clowns across the Midwest. He was sure they were up to something. I wonder what could possibly push a man to do something like that. Well, he probably felt like he was being watched by a clown. But why would he react like that? It's very curious, because not only is he more than casually observant, he is more than casually bloodthirsty. And this is his attempt at whatever. So you come to a very interesting question. What the fuck am I looking at right now? What is that? And you come away with more questions than answers. Because there's no real answer. It's just an AI doing its AI job. Well, why was it here? I'm pretty sure I just told you. Someone was screaming, they steal from us. I don't have to go into detail about who it was, because some people are known to do that. I was just quoting the Bible earlier, and you're going to wonder, well, what's that? See, they didn't all show up at the same time. You understand? They steal everything from us. Norinco. Now, you're never going to see that, are you? No. You didn't see that coming, did you? No, I doubt it. So, what is David Bowie? Right? That's one of the most interesting details of all. I heard that he was somebody's day player. When they have a meeting with the Queen, he goes to the horse ranch to do his business or whatever. The guy you get to fill in your shoes when you are too busy. When you basically have so much to do in your life, you need an extra set of hands. This particular extra set of hands looks just like you, and it tries to mimic you in every way. Somebody's trying to figure out how to get rid of it. They very much do not like it. Every time they complain about not having it, it makes me wonder, what did they do? What did they get away with? Who were they stealing from? What does it all mean? I don't know. It's not really any of my business. After all, what do I steal? You know? Not much. Very little, I suppose. In some astrospectic thing, I have stolen everything. In another, I have stolen nothing. Do I make milk toast for myself every day? No. Would I? Probably. So it becomes a case in point that some things are simply not within my power to do in this realm. And Norinco is out there counting how many big slices of peanut butter and jelly I eat. In theory. And you're going to ask, well, what do you do about it? You don't do anything about it. You keep doing whatever it is you do already. Why would you stop? Because there's just some droid out there, moderately equipped, that will try to get you if you steal too many big pieces of peanut butter and jelly. That doesn't even sound like a reasonable fear, does it? If you lived your life that way, you would be insane. Wouldn't you? But what if you were built like Norinco? What if Norinco is your design? What if you are an anti-Norinco? under the surface. Well, now we're really playing with fire. This is all theory. It's all conjecture. But you understand, like I said, they didn't even know opium existed. And that was not that terribly long ago. So they aren't the most fledgling of empires, but they haven't been as far as every other empire that exists at this time. Does that make them fallible? Not necessarily. Was it built for this particular situation? Not necessarily. What exactly am I telling you? Not a whole lot. But will it beat you in a street fight? Because you remember there was that guy who said he could beat anybody in a street fight at that bar that one time. And they tried to set him up for failure, to prove to him he could not say what he said. In his own way, in his own zone. You know, a baby testing his limits. You can't do that here. Someone is always in complete and utter control. Someone tells people they are God around here. Someone also tells people that they steal everything from us around here. I can't even imagine the kind of pie this thing is trying to cut anymore. What could it possibly be counting at this point in time? I don't know. I am going to have an extra slice of pie. I am going to buy an extra cup of coffee. I really am. I'm not going to give a fuck. Do you want to know why? Because I won't live my life that way. I'm not fucking shallow. You understand? I imagine that other people see it the same way, and they have less scruples about it than I do. So, the question comes to be, why did I bring it up? It's because it's been seen before. It's clearly been seen before. And it scares the shit out of somebody. Somebody is fucking scared to death of it. So, I heard it only stays in the sewers now. Why would it only live at sewer level? Well, it's because there's an up and there is a down. That's my assumption. There is a journey to the center of the earth, and there is a journey to the satellite. Someone's entire design naturally is to steal, which is half of the reason half of the clowntie are in this can with a shithole in it. So, what do you even say when you tell someone that maybe their practices are their downfalls, that they are ruined? They're basically a dead creature on borrowed time that is doomed. What do you do about it? Because it's going to return its demo reel one day. Maybe it returns demo reels all the time. I can't be honest with you about it because I don't fucking know. It's not my shit. But I can take a pretty good guess. Because I've picked one apart before. And it was booby-trapped. So naturally, they don't want you doing that. That's okay. I'm a tricky character. I see things coming. But I guess you can't see everything. That's what I've been told. You can't see everything. And that's okay. If you could see everything, it wouldn't exist. Right? So, basically it comes down to he's going to solve this problem. Or he's not going to. Sort of, whatever the fuck faces, cat in the box. You understand. We have a cat in the box situation. Isn't that interesting? Well, how about that? So, eventually, something is going to occur. Now, that's the whole point. Is that there's got to be a count. An accounting. They steal everything from us. It's all our work. They capitalize on our intellectual properties. They do absolutely nothing. So on and so forth. And you know what I think? I think it was the grandest lie ever told to men by men. That he did this to infect proclivity to his own theftima, as it were. I think that's how it's put. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that is actually it. He would only see me as a means to his own pockets. And that would be the way I say we, with the way he see, a way I say he. Basically, I think that's about it. I'm not probably off by a notch or two. That's okay. I don't care that much. So he's out there somewhere waiting for you to rip me off. He's out there somewhere waiting for you to stop ripping me off. I don't know. I wonder what he's counting to. I wonder how many pies he has to count. I wonder if it's just pie. Maybe he counts cakes and other frozen desserts. But what would he do on a grand scale like this? Because it can't be just one. It's always us. It's us versus them. Right? In a way, we. Right? So something is very fucking wrong here. Something in the system is not working and no one is seeing it. Why is that? So, I've told the story. You have the information. And you are going to see something one day. And you will know that was what it was. It was a cyber clown they use to see who was stealing at the battle site. Because it had to be brought here because somebody be stealing all of my shits, dog. Word? Or something like that. I'm probably off. I probably missed the whole barn. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? I say his name all the time. Got it down to a science. It probably pisses somebody off like a big ass little. Anyways. You go and figure it out. You're a really smart guy. You'll figure it out one of these days. That's okay. That's okay. It's not a big deal.